I'm going to show you what all of the options are within settings. So let's go to settings, and first of all to the main menu. I've already talked about this, but you can from the main menu go show your desktop by clicking on that. You just have to press Alt Tab to get back into StoryMaker from that. So hold down Alt and press Tab, and you can go between the desktop and the software. You don't have to quit StoryMaker in order to go back to the desktop. You can check, if you are connected to the internet, you can check for updates. You can find out what version of StoryMaker you have installed. So you can deactivate on that screen as well. So you can turn on touchscreen if you have a touchscreen compatible computer. Here are the security options. You can also limit how much is on the screen. If you want a simpler screen, for some students that's a huge advantage because you don't want them being distracted with lots of options. So you can limit those options. You can also automatically log in to the last student. So if you're just using the software with one student, you can automatically log in to that student. Okay, I'll go to the next one, which is text and sound. So here we are, you can select the font and you can select the font size. You can select a background color. You might not want white. You might want yellow, for instance. And so you can change that, and you can change the font color as well. Let's say maybe you want blue on yellow. Sometimes for visually impaired students, it can be very helpful to change those settings. So we'll hit the tick button, and now the text is going to appear like that. You can set colors for parts of speech through this menu as well. And then you can make the text settings default for all users. You can change the volume of any videos and speech that are playing as well. We'll go into the story groups option now. You can have the title played when the mouse is over the title of the story, or you can turn that off. You can also change the order that they appear, depending on how you want to do that. There's lots of different ways you can do that. And then you can order story titles in different ways as well. So those are the options there. I'm going to deal with date options in a separate tutorial, so I'll move on from that one. Create stories. Here's lots and lots of options for this as well. You can type words directly in, or you can only add words from the database if you want. You can automatically capitalize the first word in this sentence, or if you've got a student who can do that themselves, you can turn that off. You can, if the word is entered is not in the database, you can suggest similar words when processing that page, or you can actually only allow a student to work with words that are in the database. So there's lots of options in there that you can do, and then here's the word sets options as well. This is another way of finding the menu for word sets, and that's, you can go through that in terms of how you want the words to be displayed in word sets. We go to using stories. You can advance pages automatically. You can use color codes for parts of speech. You can double space the words if you want more of a gap between words. You can change how the text is aligned. At the moment I have it set so the first page is like a title page if I were to print that story out, and it's centered, but all the other pages are left aligned. Or if you want, you can either have them all left aligned or you can have them centered. Under recreating, or click word options. On timeout interval, you can make that smaller or you can make it larger. So that depends on how a student is interacting with the text. When the page is finished, you can have the page red. You could turn that off. When the speaker icon is clicked on, then it will read the page. You can have the next word blinks when the speaker icon is clicked on in the recreate option, just to try and give students as much cueing as we can. You can ask for words randomly, or you might to start with decide you want a student just to ask for words in the order they are on the page. That's for click word options. Okay, let's go to the next one, videos and sounds. You can allow videos and sound effects with listening to the story, or if you want, in that option, you can turn that off. And then time to display picture reinforcements at the end of a page, you could decide you want that to be a longer interval. So there is a lot of adjustments that you can make so that StoryMaker is useful for every student that you're working with.